Top 10 oddest animals people have had as pets. Most of us have had a pet or two in our lifetime, like a dog, or a cat, or a T-Rex. But some people don't stop at such simple and cliche animals. T-Rex, that's so last season. And guess what? We've compiled a list of the top 10 oddest animals people have had as pets. Let's begin, shall we? Number 10, Fennec Fox. This unusual and incredibly cute animal is not often known as a pet due to its normal habitat in the sandy Sahara Desert. They are exotic and can't be treated like domestic pets, but some describe their nature as a mix of a cat and a dog. Sometimes they're aloof and independent like a cat, but their playfulness and energy resembles that of a very active dog. Some Fennec Fox owners say that neutered males are calmer than females and tend to cuddle more. They are incredibly time-consuming as pets because of how much playtime and social interaction they need to make up for not being in the wild. YouTuber and animal expert Animalist says that these animals actually make terrible pets because captivity tends to stress them out. Fennec Foxes are also nocturnal, so you may want to adjust your sleeping schedule if you're thinking about taking one of these fur balls home. Still though, being able to have this guy running around your house might be worth it. You know, until the night terrors of Fennec Fox jumping on you. Number 9, a Pygmy Goat. Unlike normal dairy goats, these animals are small in size and very friendly. The word pygmy quite literally means smaller than normal. They're originally from West Africa, but they are now bred all over the world. Regular sized goats are often kept for their milk and, of course, their meat, but these little guys are just kept for amusement and companionship. An adult pygmy goat only weighs about 75 pounds, much like a large dog. Despite their size, they're actually quite muscular and hardy, and love to play rough with other pygmy goats. They can adapt to almost any climate as well, but they'll need a small barn or fenced-in area to live in, and some kind of ceiling or overhead protection because they hate the rain. They can even be trained to come when they are called. Who would have known these little buddies could replace a dog? Or a T-Rex. Yeah, I see you over there. Go back to your corner. Number 8, an alligator. That's right, President John Quincy Adams was gifted an alligator by his good friend French General Marquis de Lafayette in the 1800s. It's on number 7, Emperor Scorpion. Ew. Oh god, keep it away from me. Keep it away from me. If the name doesn't make it obvious, these pets are not for squeamish people. This species of scorpion is known to live between 6 and 8 years and are the largest kind of scorpion known to man. Despite their size though, emperor scorpions are docile, clean, and require very little maintenance. Owners must also keep them in a humid place, one that is damp but not wet, so the container won't mold. This helps mimic the desert habitat. They're also not good pets for handling, unless you're prepared to get stung by their tails or even pinched by their massive claws, fun fact, called pedipalps. Their sting has been likened to that of a bee, or worse if you're really made him mad. To avoid any pain when handling an emperor scorpion, owners recommend using a pair of forceps with foam to the grips, and only picking them up by the stinger end. These are definitely not pets to mess around with. Ew, it's gross. Number 6, wallaby. The pet wallaby is considered an exotic pet to almost anyone you encounter. Wallabies probably aren't from where you live, and even if they are, they're very unusual to keep as pets. They're close cousins to kangaroos, which explains their body shape and defined hind legs. Owners of these unusual and very active creatures say that they require a minimum of 6 by 6 foot outdoor enclosure so they can run, graze, and play as they please. Okay, and done with the Australian accent. I'm so sorry if I offended the Australian viewers. They can thrive in both warm and cold weather, but need to be kept indoors when temperatures drop below 50 degrees. These weird jumpy little guys are also herbivores, with a diet mostly consisting of different types of grass. They're definitely not an expensive date, at least not in the diet department. Baby wallabies often sell up for up to $3,000. Number 5, a chimpanzee. People have actually been keeping chimpanzees as pets for a long time. Many celebrities have owned chimps, and even normal everyday people who are just looking for an exotic pet. Their close similarity to humans can be a useful advantage when training them. Many chimpanzees have been trained to be service animals and help their owners do routine things like cooking, opening doors, and even dial 911. Some people have trained their chimps to dress themselves and communicate with sign language. They are remarkably intelligent, so they can learn a wide variety of skills with ease. But ownership of these animals isn't necessarily a breeze. Regular visits to the vet should be a top priority for chimp owners. Heart disease and diabetes are common diseases that can be contracted by chimpanzees. On top of that, their 32 teeth will need to be inspected regularly by a special dentist, and they aren't always friendly to humans. You may recall a 2009 case where a woman had her face and hands ripped off by a friend's pet chimp. She had to receive a face transplant and receive extensive medical care after the brutal attack. Number 4, a boa constrictor. To be perfectly honest, this one's a little less unlikely than you would think. Having a pet snake isn't really uncommon in today's world, but boa constrictors are a special breed of snake that are actually now considered endangered. In the wild, these creatures are known to kill their prey by coiling around them and suffocating them to death. These are definitely not pets for beginner snake owners, especially since they can live up to be 30 years old. They're also known to reach 8 to 10 feet in length and weigh as much as 50 pounds when they're fully grown. Baby boa constrictors can live in a glass aquarium, but adults and larger breeds will need larger enclosures to roam around in. These can be purchased online, but this species are very powerful and may escape when given the chance, so it's important the container is tightly secured. Like most reptiles, they'll need a humid place to live and a diet of insects or small critters like mice. Baby boas only need to be fed every 4 to 5 days, and adults can last on just one meal for an entire month. Just make sure they don't eat you first. This breed has especially large jaws to swallow prey much larger than them. Number 3. Piranha. If you've seen any Hollywood horror films about these guys, you know they're not exactly friendly, making them unlikely pets. Owning a piranha means putting in some extra effort to make sure it doesn't decide your hand will be its next snack. These are also high-commitment pets, requiring lots of living space and having a lifespan of up to 20 years. Piranhas aren't strictly carnivores, but you might be able to guess from their sharp teeth and predatory nature that meat is their meal of choice. Mealworms, earthworms, krill, and feeder fish are just some examples of the snacks piranhas prefer. Adult piranha can actually bite through bone and remove entire fingers, so these are pets to handle with care. Owners recommend using a net to move them when it's time to clean the tank, but never stabilize it with your hand. Instead, they say to use another net underneath it in case the fish bites through the first one. And if you're keeping a black piranha, make sure he's housed alone. They're not above eating other piranhas as well. Number 2. Yeah, you heard us right. Some people choose to buddy up with a hippo in their home and raise it as a pet. One specific case of a pet hippo owned by Marius Els, a South African army major. Number 1. The lion. And finally, our number 1 weirdest pet, the lion. Would you dare let a lion roam free in your home? Well, I personally wouldn't. However, Anna Studer of Tell City, Indiana did. She's just one of many people who chose to house one of the most dangerous animals on Earth. There's not many guidelines on how to raise these elegant and deadly creatures because no one really should. It's actually impossible to domesticate big cats and other predators, even if they're raised by humans from birth. Despite this, sources show that for every lion kept in a zoo in the US, there are about 10 privately owned. Another reason lions are unlikely house pets is due to their breeding practices. They can't breed in captivity because certain mating rituals, like running long distances together, can't be performed in a house or yard. Maybe leave these guys to your local zoo. I mean, just a thought. Well, that's our video for today, everybody. Would you consider bringing any of these weird animals home as a pet? Do you know anyone who owns even weirder pets? Let us know in the comments below and subscribe for more of the hottest top 10 videos.